It's the first major Saturday of the holidays and half-term chaos is already making itself felt. I just tried to take the tramway to Mont Blanc up to La Zeus to get a bit of mountain air, but I couldn't, it was fully booked. I've never known you have to book the tram before, but yeah, middle of the afternoon on Saturday and I couldn't get on it. The frustrating thing is, I bet the vast majority of the people on it were just using it to get from the Faye up to Saint-Gervais, having arrived by train or bus to get to their accommodation, and the next leg up to La Zeus ski area itself would have been almost empty. So bear that in mind if you're planning on doing the same thing yourself next weekend, using the tramway to get to your accommodation. You may well need to book a slot because it's likely to be very, very busy. But there is an alternative, of course. You can do what I just did and use the Veiling gondola from the train station instead to get up to Saint-Gervais, and then it's just a short walk across the bridge to get into town. With the fresh snow that fell last Thursday, combined with the relatively cold temperatures, the piste right now are looking, and indeed feeling, absolutely immaculate. It's probably the best they've been since Christmas time, which is obviously great news as it's now peak February half term. It's lovely, crisp, fast, but also forgiving snow. Great for carving hard on, but also great for learners too. So yeah, pretty much perfect.
Bonjour David, how you doing mate? I said I'd do some footage for you, here it is. I'm currently up at top of the Christ lift, really nice conditions up here. It's as you promised, wall to wall sunshine. Couldn't have hoped for better weather this week. The piste is excellent, there's loads of fresh cord everywhere you look, everywhere I've been this morning it's been excellent. It's not even that busy to be honest, it's pretty quiet. Yeah, I'm really pleased with the conditions, couldn't have asked for better. But yeah, thanks very much for all the snow reports, really appreciate those. Hope your knee's getting better. And maybe I'll catch up with you while I'm here.
We had some more sad news this week, unfortunately. Chamonix lost one of its great characters. Monoman was killed in an avalanche at the start of the week over on the Skyway on the Italian side. Now, if you've ever spent any meaningful amount of time in the Chamonix Valley, you've no doubt seen or at least heard of Monoman charging down some of the biggest and steepest lines on his infamous mono skis, cape billowing out behind him, antennas flickering on his helmet. He's a huge character and he's obviously going to be sorely missed. He was somebody who always lived life on the edge. He knew the risk he was taking, he knew the game he was playing, and unfortunately, if you roll the dice enough times, eventually your number might come up. But he was well aware of the risks, and for him, I guess the reward was worth taking that risk. And he certainly enjoyed many epic lines over the years. The Skyway Monte Bianco has some of the best lift-served free skiing terrain in the world, but it's also some of the most dangerous, unfortunately. There's so many objective hazards over that side, from crevasses, seracs, rockfall, even just really steep terrain, that anybody skiing over there has to be fully aware of the risks. You always know you're taking a chance, but of course we all do everything we can to minimise those risks. And on a sunny day, being south facing with a strong Italian sun, most people will stop skiing around about midday, certainly the early afternoon, because the consequences just become too high. I don't know the exact circumstances of the avalanche. It was certainly a spontaneously triggered avalanche. There are some suggestions that it might have been triggered by serac-fall. If that is the case, then that truly was random, spontaneous. There's absolutely no way of knowing when serac's going to go. They just go based on the movement of the glacier. When they reach a certain point, they just tip and fall. So if that was the case, that is the rare instance where an avalanche was truly 100% an accident and unpredictable. High pressure is well and truly back, and with it, unfortunately, comes the pollution. It's not too visible yet in the Chamonix Valley, but of course many harmful pollutants are invisible to the naked eye. But there's definite smog building again above Saint-Gervais and in the lower R Valley. So yeah, with it being peak half-term week, it's double whammy. All the chalets are full, which means that everyone's got their wood fires blazing, and also all the extra traffic on the road means that there's always diesel fumes belching out, nitrous oxides, etc. So yeah, the air quality is definitely getting worse day on day. So as nice as it is to have lovely bluebird conditions overhead again, you definitely want some rain to come along and stir up the soupy pollution and get some fresh air down the bottom of the valley again. As for the snow, you can still find some nice buttery powder in the shade, but anything in the sun is well and truly cooked now. Of course, almost everything would have been completely tracked out by the middle of the week today anyway, but yeah, even up at altitude, the sun is really strong now, so yeah, powder gets well and truly cooked, and conditions are getting very, very spring-like. The pistes, on the most part, are holding up well. There's not too much damage, but the snow has transformed now. It is very much spring snow on piste, so firm, icy first thing in the morning, lovely throughout the middle of the day, getting slushy towards the end of the day, so yeah. If you want to get the best of the snow on piste, you want to ski through lunchtime really. I'm up above 1800 metres right now, above Bellevue and La Zouche, and I'm perfectly comfortable in shorts and t-shirt in the shade without really being able to walk very far, which shows you just how warm it is right now. Granted, I am unusual, but I think most people are going to be finding it pretty warm on the slopes today. Here in La Zouche in particular, the conditions are still very beginner friendly on the upper slope, despite the heat. These nice low angle slopes on the upper parts of the mountain don't catch the sun quite so strongly, it just reflects off because of the low angle slope. So yeah, despite the strong sun and the heat, snow is actually still lovely, cold, dry and soft, perfect for learning on. In La Zouche in general, the pistes appear to be holding up pretty well, at least all the ones I can see anyway. It's nearly 4 PM in the middle of the main half-term week, and in spite of the heat, the pistes haven't descended into slush moguls like many other slopes will have done. So I think in general, La Zouche tends to be the quietest of all the Chamonix ski areas, for whatever reason. So yeah, even though it's hot, the slopes are just getting less traffic, and it's quite a big area, so everyone's spread out a lot more as well. So well, yes, you do have high wear areas. There isn't the crazy slush moguls you're going to be getting on some of the slopes in Brabant and Fougères for sure. We now have an orange health warning for pollution in the lower Har Valley, which is 3 out of 4 on a scale of fresh air to toxic, so it's pretty bad. And that means no intense outdoor exercise for anybody, even if you're otherwise fit and healthy, which is doubly frustrating for me, as I need to be doing knee rehab right now. I was planning to be out on the roads on my road bike this week in the lovely weather, but I can't because I'd be at risk of putting my health in danger. So instead I'm stuck in my damp, dark, sweaty basement. That is the reality of the mountains, unfortunately, these days. You're stuck in the valleys, you're often stuck under pollution. It's Thursday now, it's become incredibly warm. The high pressure has shifted off to the east slightly, opening us up to a southwesterly airflow coming all the way from the Sahara, complete with some Saharan dust on all the cars this morning. So freezing level's gone up to around about 3,000 metres, if not above. Combine that with the föhn effect, and down in the valley it's actually feeling like summer today, and again tomorrow it's going to be just as warm. As such, cosmetically at least, we've lost a lot of the snow down in the valley bottom, but that doesn't affect the skiing down there. The beginner runs and pistes at Balcon de Savoy, Planards, etc. are still all complete, full width, full length. The snow is icy, man-made snow, but it's good enough. But yeah, in terms of cosmetics, everything's looking quite brown and dirty down there now with slushy, icy patches of snow and bare earth. Again, it doesn't really affect the skiing too much. Up here, I'm at the top of Brevant now, so around 2,500 metres, the snow is still lovely, it's excellent. A little bit buttery, just softening up a little bit, but it's not fully transformed yet, at least on the slightly shady side. So this part of the upper run of the Charles Boson piste is absolutely glorious by the look of it. The Valley Blanche right now is pretty much as you would expect. It's got great coverage, all the crevasses are well filled in, everything's well banked out, but everything's completely skied out as well. So all the main lines are going to be skiing basically like a badly groomed piste. It's hard pack, it's moguls, it's straight down to the base. All the powder is now gone. Anywhere that is untouched is probably sun cooked anyway, so you struggle to find any powder up there, but it's still well and truly worth doing. It's an amazing journey, and when conditions like this, it's actually pretty easy to ski, so very intermediate friendly, and of course great overhead conditions. This is perfect, this is how you want it really. It's probably still just about possible to ski the James Bond piste down to town. I expect there's going to be a few bare patches. You're going to have to carry your skis a little bit further than you did last week, but outside doesn't get much sun even at this time of year, so actually it's probably held most of its snow still. Naturally, with all this good weather and reasonably stable snow, there's lots of action going on in the high mountains. Plenty of people have been out skiing various steep lines in the Argentière Basin, up in the upper Mer de Glace, over on the Italian side as well. So yeah, lots of stuff's been getting done in the high mountains, and will continue to be getting done over the next few days as well. Broadly speaking, through this weekend we're returning to a bit more of a westerly airflow, so temperatures and freezing levels should return back towards average conditions. So freezing levels will drop down to more like 2,000 metres rather than 3,000 metres. Still have plenty of sun, but some weak weather fronts are going to blow through as well. So there is some snow in the forecast. There'll be rain down in the valley, but only a few centimetres. It's not going to transform anything too much really, but again, it will freshen up some of the piste at the very least. But broadly speaking, we're still largely under the influence of high pressure. It's shifted off to the side, but yeah, there's no major storms blowing through in at least the next 6-7 days, and anytime that the clouds clear, the weather should be lovely and glorious. Fairly light winds. Again, pretty strong sun now this time of year too.
One piece of trading, the whisker on and roll. Just to the one out of color, not so much not take it, la la la.
The main UK half-term holidays are drawing to a close now, so next week there should be a lot less British school kids and families out, but that doesn't mean we're out of the woods yet, because next week is week 2 of the Paris half-term holidays, and often the Parisians tend to travel in force more in their second week. Plus it's week 1 of most of the middle portion of France, which includes, of course, Haute-Savoie here. So all the local school kids are off for the next 2 weeks as well. So it's going to be just as busy. There'll just be less British accents around on the slopes and more French. So this Saturday, it's going to be just as busy on all the main arterial roads driving into the Alps, with all the local and central portion of France, people driving up this way, plus again the Parisians still driving down, and all the British and those Parisians who were here last week leaving. So yeah, this Saturday is going to be just as chaotic as last Saturday, if not more. At the airport, should be slightly less people arriving, but a lot more people leaving, so there'll still be plenty of chaos at the airports as well. So you still need to show plenty of patience if you're coming in or going this week. And of course, remember, if you are planning on travelling out anytime soon, be sure to book your airport transfers well in advance. And if you are still looking to do that, then you can find out about mountain drop-offs with the QR code here, with the link down in the description. That's about all for this week. Please do keep sending me any of your footage and videos if you're out here over the next few weeks. I'll try and use as much of it as I can in my snow reports. Other than that, of course, if you're out here on holiday, have fun, stay safe, and tune in next time. Just remember, if you're skiing at Brevent or Fougères at this time of year, don't underestimate how long it can take you to get down, because there's no way of skiing down. It's going to be a very, very long walk if you try to ski down, and the queue for the gondola at the end of the day can be massive.